I'm gonna use wooden craft dowels to make the rods of my foosball game. They are pretty long, but I need them to be longer, so I'm gonna have to use some reinforcements by cutting out some pieces of barbecue sticks and attaching the two wooden dowels together by the help of these barbecue sticks. They're nicely supported, but I need a bit longer piece, so I'm gonna cut out half of another wooden dowel and attach it as well, so we have a total of 2.5 stuck together for one rod. Just like that, you wanna have a total of 6 rods. To make the players, I'm gonna use this single layered corrugated cardboard. It's not too thick, and I think this is the right material to make about 12 players. The design is pretty straightforward. It's just a rectangle in between two trapezoids, so just follow the planner and you'll be good. I'm gonna score this line in the middle, and by using a barbecue stick, I can make that score a bit deeper. That helps me make a good fold while ensuring that the other side of the cardboard does not tear up. Using these little pieces of cardboard, I'm going to attach them to the sides. That's basically the thickness of the player. Just follow the step and make a bunch other foosball players by using one as the template to make the other players. With that, have a total of 12, 6 for each team. I'm going to use foam balls to make the head of the players. You can even attach circular pieces of cardboard to make the head. And finally, you can decorate your players however you like. I just found some Sharpies laying around, but you can even paint the players if you want. To make the base, I have this long piece of cardboard and these additional side pieces. And again, you will find the dimensions in the planner in the description box, so be sure to check that out and you'll get a good idea of all the necessary measurements that I've used in this project. Now making the goalie. It's essentially a little rectangular piece cut out from this bigger rectangular piece. To make the foosball ball is an interesting step because you need to choose the right size. I chose this little ball from a shooter, which is considerably smaller than a ping pong ball right here, which I used to make some scratch designs for the foosball player heads. But essentially, this ball that you choose needs to be small enough that it rolls underneath the goalie. I'm going to use wooden circles to support the dowels when they twist. The placement of the rods as well as how you arrange the players in this project is very, very important. But essentially, these dowels need to be arranged in such a way that these players do not make contact with any other part of the board or essentially any other player, so it needs to have the right placement. But speaking of wooden rings, I think this is a must-have thing, although you may not find it in all craft stores. But what this wooden ring does is it prevents the cardboard from tearing underneath as you play in the long run, because you're gonna keep twisting the wooden dowels, and over time this cardboard will start to tear in that circular region. Once you have that sorted out, you can start to make the holes on the foosball players. So you can just cut out a circle using your X-Acto knife, you can poke a hole using a pencil, and whatever works for you to pass the dowel through the player. You can see that these reinforcements start to catch, so you can cut some relief cuts using a X-Acto knife, and that's going to help assist to get past these barbecue sticks as it just slots through. Once you're happy with the fit, you can just use your hot glue and glue around the region, the circular region of the foosball player, and that should be more than strong enough to support the entire game. I did make a mistake by attaching the two dowels early on, because now I have to open up the barbecue sticks, disjoint the two dowels, first pass one dowel through the wooden ring, and then stick them again because I don't have a long wooden dowel. I just used a poster board to make the base for that colorful look. Don't neglect it, looks pretty nice. The placement of your defenders is very important in this project. If you have too much space between the defenders, it's going to be so easy for your opposition to score, and there's going to be very little room between goals. And here you can see that the attacker sits in the neutral position in the very center, and there's so much space between the defenders that it's so easy to score. Therefore, if you try to move the defenders perhaps a bit too close to each other, for example, there's now very little room to score, and it's going to be almost impossible to change the scoreboard. So I find about this much of spacing to be kind of the most optimal, because defenders do have some sort of control to block shots. At the same time, attackers can be a little creative and score some goals. Once you're happy with the placement, I just use some mark indicators to attach the players. One thing I noticed while making the holes on the players, you can just cut out a square relief using your X-Acto knife, and that might just save you some time to make the holes. So whatever works for you. Flip your players upside down and align their feet, I guess. And once they're aligned and not slanted, you're ready to hot glue them. When you have the placement of the attackers from one side, you can use that as a reference to place the other players, the other attackers, I mean. I'm gonna use a little strap of cardboard and pull off the top layer out of it and use that to hot glue and wrap around the end of the wooden dowel to help act as the stopper for the rods. Repeat the same step for a bigger rectangle, and that's gonna help act as the handles this time. Once again, have all the freedom to make any sort of decorations for your foosball game. A very important step right now is that you have to turn your model over and you have to put some weight underneath the foosball table. And I'm gonna use some wooden bricks that I found in my neighbor's backyard. And this is important because you need to make sure this foosball table is nice and hard. At this point, it's very light. So when the two players are playing, the wooden dowels are gonna prevent a lot of shakiness, and that's gonna present an awful experience. So do not neglect this step. And now let's make the goal post. And with that done, let's play.